So, welcome to the Voices of Wellness, Season 1, Episode 7. And today I have this beautiful, beautiful, gracious African sister of mine, Josephine Njenga. And in a nutshell, we have crossed paths in the Middle East. And it's been how long, Josie, since we've known each other?
Oh boy, how many years are you talking about?
Well, we've lost count,
Time
but
flies.
they've been a
Lost
good
count.
amount of years, a few golden years. But yes,
Yes.
Josephine is someone who is guided by trust and intuition. She is passionate about helping people find rejuvenation, renewal, all amidst the stresses of life and relief from the pains that show up in their bodies because of that stress. Her working style is nurturing and holistic, and over the 15 years of experience that she has, her various skills and intuitive touch will guide you to unveil and embrace your authentic self from within, restoring balance and realignment to your energy field through mind, body, and spirit. I love that, Josie. I love that.
Thank you. That sounds so beautiful already.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on this
Thank you.
season's episode.
Thank you for having me today.
So, Josie, if you could tell the listeners where it all started. I know you've got this vast experience on you, but we'd like to know where, what makes up that 15 years and where it all began. Where are you now?
Well, first and foremost, thank you, Michelle, for having me. I know we've had our beautiful years together and too many more to come. Now, I'm looking at over 15 years, and I can tell there have been beautiful 15 years, over 15 years of learning, of awakening, and of questioning where you want to be, who you want to be when tomorrow comes. So, like any other therapist, I started very at the very bottom. So it didn't come all built up, it didn't come all packed up. You start from the very bottom. I've done hairdressing and beauty. I've opened salon and tried to manage it. It did not pick up. But then I questioned myself: Is this where I want to be? Do I really? To me, beauty is something that has to come from inside, and it has to radiate from inside to outside. And when I left the salon industry, I left the salon industry with three questions in my mind. And the questions I had was, what is my true calling in life? What are the effects of massage? And how can we perfect it? And how can we bring that beauty from inside outside? So I started there with those questions. And with those questions is when I started my travels and learning. So I left Kenya, found myself in an ashram in India, Osho Academy in India, then to Bali, then to Thailand, sailed the waters, found myself in Seychelles, Dubai, the Middle East. So it's been a learning journey here, there, just trying to find where am I really suited? Is there out more knowledge there? What is there out? What is the calling? Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. And where are you now, Josie? What are you doing? What are you up to?
I'm in Zanzibar now. So it was from Middle East back to Kenya, and now I'm in Zanzibar, still doing what I love doing and looking at the beautiful talent out here, nurturing them, and just trying to bring a meaning to and a difference. That's what I'm doing.
Wonderful. Well, I do know that without a doubt the team is truly blessed to have you, as I was a few years ago, to have you as a part of the team that we were part of. Mm.
And it was always a blessing. And I always say, you know what, as much as they're blessed to have me, I'm also blessed to have them. Because for me, you always learn from the team and the team always learns from you. It's you give and they give back.
So, The topic we're going to address today is on how to awaken the gift within, not only as a therapist, but as anyone who is in the industry that works with energy, that is a healer. We all have that healing capacity within all of us, but it's how to awaken that gift within. And I don't know anyone who was better suited than to speak about it than my beloved sister Josephine over here. So we're going to shoot off and delve into it. So, my very first question, Josephine, is what is awakening the gift? What is an awakening?
You see, an awakening can be looked in many different ways. And when we talk about awakening the gift in one, is where you realize and you come to a oneness with yourself, where you realize and you acknowledge and you embrace the gift that you have, because everybody in life has their own gifts. And it's only because we suppress our gifts so much and we don't have the time to be still, to be calm, to listen to ourselves and to listen to our own voices. So till that day comes when we learn to listen to our own voices, to hear what we are communicating with our own inner self, is when now you start realizing there's something more in me. There's something that needs to be brought out. There's something that needs to be given a life. And that is what I always say. So to me, awakening is realizing that you have something more that is inside of you, something that is lying there dormant and need to be recognized, need to be embraced, need to be nurtured, and need to be brought out.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love how you've worded it. And for those who may not have that feeling, because you're saying that it's a realization of the fact that you feel that, okay, there's something that seeks to emerge from within me. If someone doesn't necessarily feel that there is something emerging and they feel dormant and nothing is shifting, what can they do to sort of kindle and bring that about if they aren't feeling it already, Josie?
You see, that's a beautiful question, Michelle, because there are times we have something, but we don't realize we have it. There are times we have potential, but you don't see our own potential. There are times a seed is planted in you, but you don't know how to water that seed to bring it to germination. I must say, and I humbly admit that I am blessed because I have crossed paths with mentors and people who saw the gift in me, people who saw the seed that I had sowed, but I didn't know how to water it for it to germinate. And one of those persons is like one of the spa leaders, Lindsay. And Lindsay saw something in me back in 2009, and she was like, she's one of those leaders, I'm sure you know her, and she's one of those people, when she sees potential she pushes it. And here it's a seed that is there, she recognizes it, and she made sure that, you know what, you're going to take your own bucket and water your own seed. So she did not water it for me, but she guided me to where the water was for me to water it for myself. And this is where we mentors come in. This is where the leaders in this industry come in, because you have these beautiful souls in your team. Sometimes you realize some of them are too shy. Some of them do not even know their strengths and their weaknesses. But you, as a leader, as a mentor, you look and you see that. And that's the way you nurture them. That's the way you coach them. And then that's the time they realize there's something in me that is there. I have this potential. I hear this voice. And eventually they learn to embrace it. Eventually they learn to bring it out. So sometimes it takes somebody to point it out, and sometimes it takes your own pointing out. But there's so many times that we need somebody else to point it out for us, just to point us in the right direction and to assure us that yes, we got it.
Wow, that's phenomenal. I love how you bring up mentorship, and I think that's such an important facet, because sometimes, depending on conditioning or certain circumstances that are present in different phases or at different phases of our lives, we have different filters in front of us, and we don't see clearly, we don't see what's in front or within. And I love how you've sort of directed it towards someone else seeing what you don't see, and then it's like an aha moment, and you can pick it out and you start to embody it and feel it and resonate with it, and then it depends on you what you do with that from then onwards. So thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, wonderful. um oh, did you want to say something? You, you were going to add
No,
something?
I'm okay.
Okay.
You see, it's also, as you say, it's up to you what you choose to do with it. And it's up to you to know that also, even if somebody is there to mentor you, somebody can only open the door for you. And Michelle, you being my sister, with all the love I have for you, yes, I can open the door for you. But for you to find your way out of that door, it's your own willingness. The path that you take once you exit, it's your own willingness. And always have those strong pillars that you respect. Because as I've told you, one of my mentors is Lindsay. I also have a leader. So once you have all these pillars that you know what, these are true pillars in your path that no matter where they are, you'll always reach out to them. They'll always be there for you. But again, you're still a free spirit, a free soul, and you're still following your own path because they showed you the door, you opened the door, and you exited, and you're still on your path. That's the most important thing to always remember.
Hmm, wonderful. When you say that, you've made me remember a quote from a book I'm reading right now, and it's by an author by the name of Ernest Holmes, and he is considered a modern mystic. And in this book called The Voice Within, he says, "Be not afraid." And I think this is really great. It speaks volumes to mentors themselves. So if you're a mentor and you're listening right now, I think as mentors, sometimes we take a step back because, or we get disappointed because once we've helped someone identify this gift, we want to be able to take them through all the way. And in this quote, he says, "Be not afraid of not being able to walk that person through the garden. If you've taken them to the gate, that's been more than enough, so to say." I can't remember his exact words, but it said something along those lines. So you've really nailed it on that one. Thank you. Yeah. And Josephine, now we've spoken about the awakening, but then now I'd like to go on to the gift. Now, there could be a lot of confusion on what that gift is. Now, if I'm a person that loves football, just because I love something or I'm passionate about it, could that be my gift? Or what determines what a gift is? What is a gift for those who are listening and aren't sure on what that could be? Because there's so much information out there, and I think it gets so confusing. So, what would be a gift?
Wow, thank you, Michelle. Um, I always say let us not confuse a few things. Let us not confuse the gift that you came to this life with. Let us not confuse hobbies and passions. I am passionate about cooking, but then that's not a gift of mine to follow. And despite the fact that I can cook for a whole village, that's just a passion. That's something I do because I love it. But then what is my true gift? What is my true calling? And this is where you do your own soul searching and ask yourself, who am I in this life? What is my true calling? What am I here to do? So those are a few things because Some of us have the gift of being caretakers. Some of us have got a gift of being musicians, being artists. Some of us have the gift that is in us of healing. Some of us are coaches and mentors. So those are gifts. That is your path. That is your true calling. That is who you are in this life. So once you identify, once you walk down that journey and ask you, what fulfills you? What makes you feel like I'm not working and I'm not trying because this is so in me? We're in synergy with who I am. With me and my gift are in synergy. We agree. We do not fight. We do not have that friction because we are one. So once you identify that, and then there's only time that you can be truly say, I know what is my gift in this life. I know what is my true calling in this life. I know who I'm meant to be. I know what path I'm following. And be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Because even if you find that gift, they're challenging. They're like that twin of yours who is very identical but very challenging. And you're like, are we really meant to be twins? So be gentle with yourself and understand that yes, you have many things. You may be passionate about a lot of things, but there's something that really makes you feel complete. Maybe it's giving, maybe it's working the society, maybe it's being that one pillar that everybody comes to, maybe it's being that woman that feeds the whole village. These are gifts. But then what is your true calling? What is your gift? What is your passion? What is your hobby? This needs to be differentiated.
I
That's
love
what I
how
would
you,
say.
wow. I love how you've separated it and made it clear for anyone to understand. And I think what you, and just to add on to what you're saying, is when you say your gift is something that makes you, gives you that sense of fulfillment. I think in society sort of packaged a gift as this, for lack of a better word, this glamorous entity that one has to have, and that is the gift, right? Something like you have to reach a magazine cover and then it's, that's your gift, or be 30 under 30 and wow, you've really tapped into your gift. um, so what I want to say, especially to the younger listeners or anyone who has someone younger under their mentorship, or even elder, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's something that you could be the best baker, you could make the best fried chicken in your city, and like you're saying, you could feed, you could cook and cook a good hearty meal and feed a village, give, it's when you're able to serve a purpose that is greater than yourself, and you do it so effortlessly and so seamlessly with such an ease and grace. No one else can do that. Let's say you baked a pumpkin pie. No one else can bake a pumpkin pie like Josephine. And that pumpkin pie is served at graduations, ceremonies, no matter the circumstance, and it brings people together. I mean, that's a gift. So I think
Yes, it is.
yeah, I think we sometimes, when we think of a gift, we think of, okay, being a famous football player or a famous singer, and it's glamorized in such a way. But as you've beautifully put it, it can be anything, but it gives you that sense of fulfillment. So thank you for saying that, Josephine. It's something I really wanted, to get out there. Thank you. And my next question would be, how is this relevant to the therapist nowadays? Everything that we've spoken about so far, awakening and, sort of finding what that gift is. How is it relevant to our spa therapists, wellness practitioners, or just anyone in the industry right now?
Okay. So thank you, Michelle. When I think about awakening the gift in yourself, when I think about looking for your true purpose, for your true calling, and when I look at the therapist, I have been a therapist for years. And as I say, I'm blessed and I'm humbled at the same time to have met Lindsay, to have met a leader, to have met you. So it's really a path that, I've been blessed to find people on the way, mentors and leaders who have been able to guide me, who did not see only a therapist who brings only finances. They did not see a target. A therapist just make sure that we've reached our targets. They saw something much more bigger than just that. And it is important for us to always remember as therapists that there's something much more in us. And our touch is a gift as it is. And if you can make a difference in a person, if you can bring a healing by just that touch, ask yourself, how can you perfect this? Do you need a break where you can do meditation just to bring yourself to an alignment? Do you need somebody to mentor you to be able to find what else is there for you? So for therapists, it's actually very important because we tend to think my duty is only to go do some facials, do some massages, do this, do that, and the day is over. But how does it feel if you're that therapist who somebody comes back and says, you actually helped me out there? How does that feel if it becomes that therapist that somebody comes back and say, thank you for the touch the other day. It made a difference. This is more fulfilling than having your day over. This is more fulfilling than having a big fat check by the end of the month. It's identifying and questioning me, myself as a therapist. What do I want when tomorrow comes? So yes, we have very gifted therapists in this industry, which is really amazing, the wellness. But I always say it's where the water is that there's no swimmers. Because we in an industry that meant to be compassionate, supposed to be mentoring, and yet that's where it's lacking in most cases. If only we can realize the gift in our therapists, and if only we can encourage them to look deep down in themselves and see what is there for them. What is there for them come tomorrow? That's one of the questions that I always ask myself.
Oh, you got me
I've answered you.
emotional. You got me emotional. You hit my heartstrings with that last statement, Josephine. Thank you. Oh, oh, wow. Ah, you see why I have Josephine. We needed her. Thank you. Thank you, my love. Now, another question is, once you've began this journey of awakening, do you just awaken it and that's it? Or is it a continuous awakening?
As I told you, my journey started in 2009. Today we're in 2021. And having known me for like 7 years, you can say it's something that it's a baby step. It's understanding that the baby is not born today and runs tomorrow. And I say it's being kind to yourself. It's being love to yourself. It's being compassionate with yourself. It's being easy with yourself. Don't rush it. It takes time. It takes understanding. It takes baby steps to get you there. Imagine it like being a pregnancy that you have to carry for 9 months, and then the baby has to come, then the baby has to learn all these steps. So it depends from one individual to another. There's no competition in this. It's your path and your path alone. If we meet someone on the path, we can walk the distance together. Then you go your way, I go my way. But what I'm saying is, yes, you realized and you started the journey. Learn patience. It is a seed you plant. Be patient, it will germinate at the right time. Whatever is meant to be, it will be. So just be patient with yourself. That's the most important thing to remember. Don't rush it. Yeah.
Amazing. I think we get so caught up with everything being so fast paced and being impatient with ourselves because we want to know what it is. We want to dive into it and get everything now, now,
It's
now.
curiosity.
Yes,
It's
yes.
curiosity and it's wanting to be on the same level like everybody else. But we forget that everybody else have their own story. Everybody else have their own journey. Maybe they've worked it before and left it somewhere down the road. They came back to catch it with it. Maybe they're fast movers. Maybe their path is not as complicated as your path. And this is what we always need to remind ourselves. Everybody has their own path. Patience, patience, and lack of curiosity. Don't want to see what is the next bag before you get there. Just wait for Christmas to open up your gifts.
Mm.
So don't rush it. Time will come.
Right, right. There's an author by the name of Viktor Frankl, and he says, if you ask me to give you a fig, what I'm going to tell you first is let's wait for it to blossom and let's wait for the fruit to develop and let's then wait for that fruit to ripen and then we can pick it and I'll give you your fig. So that
And
sums
that's
up.
how long.
Yeah,
You see,
yeah,
that fig takes enough time. So
right,
that's the same thing. Just be patient.
right.
It's important. Keep watering the plant. Don't give up. Don't say the fruits are not falling. Don't say it's not giving fruits. Don't say that they're not ripening quickly. Don't say they're not falling for me to pick up. Patience. Water it. Understand the weather.
Right.
The time will come.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And every step that you're going through is, I think, anyway, as we know experientially and still getting to find out as we're on our own journeys ourselves, is that it's all preparation for what is to come. So if you jump 10 steps ahead, by the time you get to the thing that you envision, you may not be ready to receive it. So it's a just gentle
It finds you
reminder.
back to step one.
Mm,
You may not be ready to receive what is awaiting you because you jump the steps. And when you receive it, you may not know how to use it. So
love that.
patience prepares you to get there. And once you get there, then you know how to use it.
It's wonderful. Josie, thank you. This has been very enlightening, and I think the key takeaways resonate with anyone who is, a mentor, anyone who is a therapist, an owner, a manager, director, just anyone really. And so, if you're listening, please take these gems with you and put them into practice. You cannot embody what you don't practice. It's all practice because we always say that basic in spirituality, basic spirituality is intellectualizing all the things that you know. So we know, okay, this quote, and we know that, and we've all heard it before. But then advanced spirituality or self development and self awareness is when we actually embody it. It permeates ourselves and our very being, that it's first nature, not just something that we have, intellectually processed and we know, okay, we know about being patient, but are we patient? So thank you for sharing all those jewels and your experience. I definitely know that there's some people who I know I've taken a lot of gems from you, and our listeners have done the same. I will have Josephine's contact information at the bottom of this video. You can reach out to her. She's a fantastic listener. I have had multiple enlightening conversations with her, and she's always posting beautiful, sentimental, spiritual topics on her Facebook page. So if that's something that you'd like to take as a gift, as you awaken your gift, please do so. I always look forward to her posts. And I remember one time when she told me, one of her friends actually messaged her and said, "Where is your post today? I was looking forward to it." So they're that good. I remembered. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you do.
Just,
Oh, it's one of those things that you don't realize that you're doing, but then you receive a call and you see an inbox message and they're like, who is this? And the next minute you're like, I didn't see a post from you today. What's happening? You did make my day. And I find myself saying, I'm sorry. And allow me, when it comes, I'll bring it to you. So that's what I do.
oh, wonderful. You're a fantastic teacher, a beautiful mentor, and we are so blessed to have you share your journey with us. I wish you all the best with your ongoing awakening, and I'm so happy to be on this path with you. And if there's anyone who's listening and you resonated with everything that Josephine said, she's happy to take anyone under her wings. She loves talking, she loves teaching, she's an excellent mentor, coach, as I've already mentioned. And just reach out to her, have a conversation with her. And there's a lot you can learn from this wonderful lady. Um, so yeah, Josephine, is there anything else that you wanted to say before we sign off for the listeners?
Nothing to say, Michelle. I can only wish you all the blessings. And to every mentor out there, remember, yours is only to take them to the door. If they don't let you walk out of the door with them, it is not your journey, it is their journey. But don't be disappointed. Always be there when they come calling. Always have an ear, always be able to listen. And for those who are on this journey, it is a beautiful journey once you and learn to be still, learn to be kind to yourself. That's the most important thing as well. As you master patience, also master kindness, compassion, and love for your own self. That's the most important thing that you can always have. And Michelle, it's always a blessing to have you as well. It's always a blessing to have conversations with you. And yes, so that's it from me, nothing much.
Thank you. Thank you once again, Josephine. I think I'll leave off with one thing that you just said when you said, don't be disappointed. I think never underestimate the power of planting the seed. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
one word you may say today, 5 years later, that person may digest it when it is time for them to do so. And that's when they'll walk that garden because you planted that seed 5 years ago. So thank you again, beloved. Again, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in season 2 as this is a wrap. And we've just ended off with my beautiful sister on episode 7. Season 1 has been wrapped up, and I look forward to seeing you all in season 2. So keep 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 yourself posted, and we'll update you. Thank you. Lots of love. Namaste. Ashe.
namaste.